Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back to another Animal Crossing New Horizons video. This is Ryan. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is a very early morning here on February 1st, Monday 2021, 5:09 a.m. And wanted to go ahead and pull the game up here, show you guys what we got going on, and kind of hang out for a little bit. So feel free to sit back, relax, and I guess let's get right into it. So I finally upgraded my house again. I needed more storage finally, and so I've been finally using the bells that I've been getting from my Northern Hemisphere island to essentially start paying off the loans to get an increased storage. Basically, one of my goals right now is to try and get that bigger house as quickly as possible so I can get as much storage as possible as I continue to gather more resources, make more things. And as you can see, our plaza section here has changed quite a bit and quite nicely. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to be putting in this section here at all, but I know for a fact that I wanted to go for a real, I don't know, old school Animal Crossing style island here, at least in particular this part of the island. This part hasn't changed at all, but I know that when it comes to making this island, a lot's going to change based on the items that I gather and the items that I'm able to get. And right now, with things like Nook Miles taking a very, very long time. I don't know if you all remember this, but man, buying all of the DIYs from Resident Services Center the first time, it takes a while. I mean, I haven't had to buy any in so long. I went and bought some of the fencing the other day, and I was just like, oh my god. It costs 2,000 miles for a DIY for a silo. I don't know, the silo is probably like 3,000, but I don't know. It's been so long since I've had to buy anything like that that I actually completely forgot how many Nook miles you actually need to actually buy the stuff. Like a lamppost is 1,000 miles, and I want like 50 of them, so I have to get like 50,000 miles. It's ridiculous. But either way, so wanted to go ahead and pull the map up here so you can kind of see what I'm looking at, and I guess more or less my thought process is in regards to what we're doing here. So as you can see, I've basically put the bridges down where I think they can go naturally. There is one more place down here that a bridge can naturally go, but I don't think I'm going to utilize that area. The only other two places that I can see bridges going naturally are right up here and then right over here to the side. I don't really know where they would go in particular, but I know that for a fact without terraforming anything, it's going to go up here or it's going to go over there to the right. So I'm not quite sure exactly where I'm going to put them. As for what's going on over here, well, you know, this whole left side of this particular part of the island is essentially done. This is where the Able Sister is located. You know, we have the plaza right here. And so the biggest question is, where are we going to put the store? Well, if we make it as symmetrical as possible, the store is probably going to go, you know, right here next to this little outline section of pathing on the right side of Resident Services. But if we wanted to change it up a little bit, we could say that Resident Services Center in correlation to Nook's Cranny can go, I don't know, maybe here, maybe up there, maybe down here. It all really depends too on where I want the location of the museum. I know for a fact I want the museum either here in the center, kind of up here on the second section, or right back here, close to where my house is. And I haven't quite decided where I want that yet. I know also that I want this brick path to go all the way up here to where this bridge could potentially be, but if the bridge is off even by a little bit from the pathing, it's going to bother me to no end. And so I'm trying not to, you know, plan too much ahead, because with this being so much pathing being done, what I don't want to do is put all the pathing out and then have to redo it later, or decide that I don't want to do them. You'll also notice I have a lot of Nook Miles tickets on the ground here. The reason for that being, one of our most recent villagers to this island is now Marshall. We did a villager hunt recently when Snake had asked to move out, and on ticket 101, right before the stream ended, we got Marshall. So I decided to take Marshall as a decent placeholder for now. We may or may not keep Marshall in the long run, but, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. I still haven't gotten the hedge DIYs from Leaf just quite yet. I'm not sure what exactly I have to do. I've purchased quite a bit from him. But I guess you either have to purchase more or wait more days, and purchase more as the days go on. But what I wanted to do, more or less, is take a look at the Redeem Nook Miles section and see what fencing we have available. And so today we have the rope fence and the spiky fence, neither of which in particular I can think of using on this island, at least right now. I have to say that I don't know, my love for this game is definitely starting to reignite just a little bit when I look at sections like what we've accomplished so far on the left-hand side of resident services here. I think, you know, it's not exactly complete, but the vision for what this could potentially look like in the future has definitely got me wanting to play more and continue on and see where this goes. So I'm excited to see the rest of how this island progresses and how it transforms as we work along here. But what I'm gonna do right now, I guess, just to give myself a general idea, is I'm gonna start just kind of putting the path down in a checkerboard pattern here. For those that are kind of new to my channel and new to this this Animal Crossing and Chill podcast style series, I kind of messed that up. That's okay. The reason I'm doing this is because it at least gives me somewhat of an outline without what's the word I'm looking for here? Without committing to anything in particular. If you were to look at it on the map, you can see that it's still taking up a decent portion of it, and so you can kind of get a good idea of what's outlined and where things are able to go and where they're essentially allowed to go. And so I use this as a means to fill in sections without, like I said, committing too much to the actual design to it. So it's a technique that I haven't used in a very long time because I haven't been designing my Northern Hemisphere island like this in quite some time. Once we went over to the path, there was really no need to do this, since most everything on that Northern Hemisphere island is, you know, that custom design pattern. But okay, so what else can we do? On the left-hand side, one thing that we did was we started expanding a path from the left-hand side to keep on going in. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do that as well. Now, despite the fact that we're not using the same path, it is feeling very reminiscent of our Northern Hemisphere island because of the fact that it is essentially being designed kind of the same way, with the pathing going from the left, right, and, you know, I guess south section of the resident services here. We are in a bit of an awkward position, however, with the resident services being this close to the water. There are a lot of limitations to this no terraforming challenge that I found that are difficult for me to, I guess, flex my creative muscles for. I don't feel like I'm the most creative person when it comes to Animal Crossing New Horizons island designing, but I definitely, you know, I'm definitely not going to say that I don't have any. It's just going to take me a while to figure out exactly how things go and how I want them to go. So what else is happening here? Well, kind of in an awkward situation again. It kind of went straight down and went right into the Able Sisters store. This section I plan on kind of outfitting with Able Sisters things. Maybe a loom, maybe a kimono stand. I'm not quite sure. But let's see. How many spaces out did it go? It looks like it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I counting that right? Looks like 7 spaces, including the corner. So if I wanted to make it as symmetrical as possible, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it went up. Okay. I mean, something about this seems off. There's definitely something about this that seems off. It's... Well, assuming the Able Sisters went right next to this section, it sure did. And the Able Sisters is 5x4, I think. So that actually makes sense. But Nook's Cranny is 7x4. So it is just slightly longer. And if we take a look at the map here, what I need to figure out is whether or not I want this path right here to continue going to the right, and then meeting this this path that goes all the way up, or if I should start changing it and making the path start going up and maybe around instead of straight to the right. It's really one of those decisions in regards to whether or not I want to make everything as blocky as this path can limit you to doing. It's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed working with the that 9 custom design pattern path on the Northern Hemisphere island, is because you weren't just like restricted to only making straight lines. You could zigzag your lines, you can crisscross them, you can make them do all these little fancy designs and directions, and that was really, really great. But you're very limited with the basic path that you get here, and so I'm not quite sure. Speaking of custom designs, while I run around and try and figure out what exactly to do here, speaking of custom designs, I did go ahead and... So, what happened was, I know that in the beginning I said I wasn't going to do custom designs, which, I mentioned in the previous video. But, what happened was, you have to put your information in for payment whenever you sign up for a free trial for subscription-based services and stuff like that, and I forgot to disconnect mine on the 7-day trial. So I do have Nintendo Switch Online and the ability to get more custom patterns for the next 30 days essentially. And I don't know if I'm going to do that. I know that in the very beginning I said that I wasn't going to do things like get Nintendo Online for the sake of designs, but obviously that's very much changed. And so I figured, you know what, if I'm already that far down into the hole of getting custom designs, maybe I should go ahead and just keep on going. So we'll see what other custom designs I utilize, but as we download them, I will certainly be sure to update these videos to try and give you guys as many resources as possible for those that want to do very similar things to the things that I'm doing on this island currently. Okay. I think that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, and then it rounds out. Okay. So now we are completely symmetrical, at least on this end of the aisle, or rather on this end of Resident Services Center. So now, let's just take a look one more time. Now we run into that question once again in regards to where do we go from here. Certainly what we can do is we can just bring the path back down and make everything look incredibly symmetrical. I did see a design recently for like a dog park, which would be kind of nice too. There's enough space over here to the right that we could certainly put Nook's Cranny over there, and if anything, we could turn this section into a cafe style. We can turn it into a dog park. There's so many different things that we could do here. In fact, I think I may even want to do that. First, I have to pick up all these tickets. I have to pick up all these tickets. There's so many tickets. So, with this being the 7th section here, I'm just going to bring it down like this. Now, I should be checkerboarding this just in case this isn't the way that I want to go with it, but I think for now that's totally fine. Oops, wrong thing here. Okay. And there's still room to keep expanding and bringing the path up and around. And who knows? I may even just block this section off. I'm not quite sure how exactly I'm going to do it, but once I unlock the brick wall, which I can just time travel to go get, the brick wall DIY, I may go ahead and just block the back section of the Resident Services Center off and just kind of make path that goes around it, and maybe just put a bunch of trees back here. And who knows, we may not even keep this very symmetrical style here, but for now, just as a placeholder, We're just going to put everything down as if that is how we are going to do it, which means I need to put this stuff down here like this. And there we go. Oops. Okay, well, let's just take a look and see here. So if we were to bring this all the way down, and this is part of the island design process that you really can't be afraid of. You really can't be afraid to just put stuff down and then pick them back up and, you know, not like how things are going and want them to be different. So there's a wide area here. It really depends on where I want Nook's Cranny. I'm just going to kind of put some dirt pathing here to kind of visualize where things are. You know what? Actually, these Nook Mouse tickets may come in handy. If I count up here, Nook's Cranny is 7 spaces wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this whole section right here, actually minus this part, is 10 spaces wide. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So if I put... It would be 3 spaces total, but that would bother me to no end, so it has to be 11. Unless it's 9? And 1 space on each side. So... This is a silly placeholder, but... I like the brick pathing to be 2 tiles wide, which essentially means that if I'm going for this sidewalk-style pathing, I have to make every path 4 tiles wide. So with that in mind, it's actually going to expand to at least right about here, which makes this whole section only 9 tiles wide, which means that there's only 1 space on each side. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that would make the... Oops. That would mean that Able Sisters, that would mean Nook's Cranny fits right into this section right here. And if I would put some dirt pathing down to indicate kind of where it would be something like this. And I'm not going to fill this in completely. I'm just more or less showing like where the doors are going to be and like how it would be situated on this particular part of the island. Okay. So this is certainly an idea. This is certainly something that we could do. Just keep it on the same kind of plane as the Able Sisters store, and then just bring it right around here, and then we could decorate around it. But again, we go into this area here where it needs to be 4 sections wide, I think. I know we did something weird over here. We did kind of like this indent from the path to get into Able Sisters. So, we might just have to do that again. Looking at the custom designs, I think it would have to go right here. Pretty much. And then the other section would have to go right over here. Alright. I mean, it's not a lot of money to move buildings at the end of the day. It's really not. And certainly I can always make more if I really wanted to. So down here, we did expand it down there right after that. Okay, so right here is where we expanded it, essentially. Let me just double check. We go through, and it's expanded. Yep. Go through, and it's expanded. So, to make this do what I want it to, I would have to bring it down again, and then maybe I can just plant some trees out here that go along here, and then maybe go up. And then we run into this section here. What do I put behind here? Now, I could honestly just put a bunch of trees back here. Trees help with the vertical aspect of your island as well, in regards to things like visually, especially if you can't normally put stuff back there that you would normally be able to see. You can tell that I've kind of had... this is kind of an empty area, and I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to do with it. Technically, what I could do is I could just keep expanding the Able Sisters section to go back here, and then maybe even just block off this section instead of where it's currently blocked off from. And I'm going to get this balloon really quick before it drives me crazy. There we go. Water flooring. Do I know that already? No, I don't. Alright. So, yeah, I mean, I could certainly just, like, keep expanding back here, but the thing is, without using a camera, you're not really going to be seeing back here anyway. So, what I could be doing is I could essentially just keep filling it with trees, which I think I'm going to attempt to do, just to see what it would look like. Oh, that's weird. Where'd it go? I guess wait, did it go back here? Oh, I just lost a pair. That was really weird. I wonder if it wasn't able to fall in the Resident Services Plaza. I'm not quite sure. I did have a flourishing idea in my mind that I could do for this section here. I was thinking of expanding the brick out a little bit and then putting, like, you know, like a clay furnace and maybe some kitchen things back here and putting some stools out in front, basically treating it as some sort of an outside cafe, and maybe putting a vending machine or, I don't know, some sort of rope fencing here to indicate that you're not supposed to go back there. But again, with how slow it is to get Nook Miles, which again is something that I haven't really had to do in a long time, buying things like vending machines, man, that's expensive. Let's see. Okay, so looking at this, I need to place the tree. It needs to go. It can't go there. It has to go here. And it has to go here, essentially. So that ruins the whole country fencing part of it. But it does, again, add to that section behind the Able Sisters that you wouldn't normally be able to see. If anything, actually, what I should do is I should move the tree more towards the center and then maybe just start filling this section out with flowers. I'm trying not to do this thing where I just fill a section with stuff just to fill it. I definitely am taking a lot of inspiration from previous games, and when I look at the previous games and kind of like what you had to go through, there definitely was spaces where there was just nothing there. And I think the reason I'm trying to get over that is because I'm so accustomed to things like just seeing things everywhere on the island nowadays, because that's essentially how people are decorating their New Horizons island. Okay, so it's too close to the Able Sisters store. That's the problem. There we go. Okay. So I think that's fine. I don't really think there's any need to constantly have things blocked off and to constantly have things, you know, there and not there. I am going to go ahead and place some flowers down here just to kind of fill out this section. Actually, not right there. Because what I want to do there is I would like to put a fencing here. That way you cannot walk through it like so. And then I will simply put this here and that there, and I messed that up because of, why wouldn't I? And then we'll block this off again. And then I can put, I don't know, I guess I can put a hedge here, which I put away, but that's okay. I can just grab it from somewhere else. For now, I think I'm going to grab it right here. There have been a lot of placeholders that we've been using, and this is certainly not any exception. There we go. Perfect. All right. Well, things are really starting to look really, really good here. Also, the new reactions for the Festivale stuff is they're amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. That's how I'm gonna end the video too. But you know what? I think we'll go ahead and call it right there. We've been recording for quite some time now, so I think we'll go ahead and call that a video. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. I appreciate it very much. If you are new to my channel and are enjoying this series or enjoyed this episode and are curious to see how the island progresses from here, by all means, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on, as YouTube doesn't really do a good job of recommending videos sometimes. And if you enjoyed the video, by all means, be sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below. It's always appreciated as well. I always go through and I like to see people's suggestions for the island too, so I would love to know what you guys think, or what you guys think we should put on the island. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. Enjoy while I do, I guess, a little dancey dance. And until next time, guys, take care. Take it easy. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.